Well, hello there. It's Pastor Bob. It's 12:09 according to my time here, and just wanted to get on here. And if you were planning on watching the worship service online this morning, I apologize. We were having some technical difficulties, some software problems. We did everything we could to try to get it working, and we're going to have to contact the vendor on the reasons why it's not working tomorrow. So just wanted to let you know that we were thinking about you and you're missed. And I pray that you had a good 4th of July weekend and you're being safe as you are celebrating. It's going to be another hot one. It looks like today. Well, concerning the service today, the message was basically this theme here, that freedom without restraint is chaos, or another way to put it is freedom without restraint is tyranny. And freedom can be, if it's played out to its fullest extent, is that I'll do what I want to do. There'll be no restraints. I will not submit to authority. I am my own authority. And that would be the taking freedom to its full extent. But then if you think about anarchy and the definition of anarchy, anarchy is the disorder that follows when people won't submit to authority and care about others. And we've seen that played out over the last several weeks with all of the protests that have been going on. Not necessarily, the peaceful protests, but when those are hijacked by whoever. Think of Seattle with 3 weeks of siege of 6 blocks of property, and claiming that they weren't going to submit to law and order, to police, and yet they're building walls and they have automatic machine guns. The mayor said that, well, maybe we'll just see, this will be the summer of love. Well, it lasted for about 3 weeks, and not the love part either. And she had enough for whatever reasons, and she shut the thing down and reclaimed the streets. But during that time, the borders, they set their own borders. They had their own guards with automatic weapons. They were extorting businesses. It was just chaos. There were reports of rape and all kinds of things. And that's the example that you get when freedom goes amok and people aren't going to be responsible. So took that and applied it to our own spiritual walk. Spiritual anarchy is a lot more scarier than governmental anarchy, and maybe they go hand in hand, and they're cousins at least. But spiritual anarchy, you want to see what happens when individuals say, I'll no longer follow God, that I won't abide to and submit to his authority. Read Romans chapter 1. And probably around verse 14, I believe. And it begins to talk about all of the darkness that happens and the slide that takes place of sin and just the destruction that happens in relationships and people's lives. And God gives us freedom, all kinds of freedom, but he sets boundaries, restrictions, and he demands that we submit to him for our care and for our protection. Read different passages of scripture that speak that. Ephesians chapter 4 and 1 Corinthians chapter 4, and read Romans 14 that talks about our need to not only submit to authority, but to submit in love to one another. Well, I'm not going to preach the whole sermon again today, but the key thing is I wanted you to know that you're loved and appreciated. And once again, I am so sorry that we were unable to convey and send forth the message, the worship service today. But that'll all be rectified for next week. And hope that you have a remainder of a good day. Try to stay cool. God bless.